Okay, so I've been asked like a million times since I posted this reel how I managed to clear up my skin, and I tried to reply like a simple explanation in the comments, but it is actually just such a long story. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna make a full-length video on this because so many people asked about it. And I said I would do it when I got back from Croatia, which was now like 3 weeks ago. And I kind of procrastinated about making it for a very long time because it is genuinely just such a long story. But I'm here now recording it. So I have literally spent hours scripting this because there is a lot of details. I can't really see it, that's not very helpful. I've like documented everything to show you guys, so I don't want to leave out any details. It's gonna be a long story, a long video. I've also I got like all of my current skincare that I'm using so I can show you guys, because that will like help explain all the products and everything that I've tried and everything like that. So it's gonna be a long story, so grab yourself some tea and sit down and enjoy. I'm gonna get into all of it. So when I was like 12 years old, actually hang on, before we start, I just want to put you somewhere else because I just had this thing about like filming where it's not really anxiety, but I just don't like it. Like it just takes me so much effort to feel like put together enough to film. So maybe if is that okay? Okay, and I'm gonna have to be reading off this a lot because there are so many details and I don't want to miss out anything. So if you see me like reading off the screen, I will try my best not to, but it's just so that you guys don't miss any of the details. Hang on, I need to switch position. This feels weird. You know what? I think that's fine. Pre-age 12, I think that like all of us below the age of 12 just had like no acne. So yeah, I had flawless young person skin. I didn't do like any skincare or anything. I was just existing, and that's pretty normal for that age, or at least like when I was 12 in 2016, it was very normal to just not do any skincare, and it's quite nice that way. But now in this modern age, it's a bit different. No criticism, but it's just a bit different now. Anyways, when I was age 12, so this is 2018, I started getting acne, and it's actually really funny looking back at these photos because there's like nothing there. You can see this one on my forehead, which I think was there for a good few months. Like I remember seeing this series of photos over months where there's this one pimple that was just there forever. There's honestly really nothing, but it was just kind of regular teenage acne that everyone gets because they're a teenager. My mum got me this tea tree oil skincare, like the starter pack of tea tree oil acne control kit or whatever it was. And I don't even know if it worked, but like when I smell it now, like I hate the smell. Like some people are like, oh, it's so refreshing, it's so nice. I cannot even smell like tea tree oil anymore. You know when you have a bad association with something when you're young and then later you smell the same thing and it doesn't, I don't know where I'm trying to go with this. By the way, guys, any product that I mention here, nothing is sponsored. So like any product I mention, it is not paid for. So like you can trust that whatever I say, like my judgments or anything, that is all honest and myself. Then when I was age 13 to 14, acne started getting a little bit worse, but like it was not that bad. When I look at these photos, there's like nothing there. I don't even know what I was worried about, but I did start using some topical acne treatments. So I used Benzac and Acnatac, but all these made my skin like really, really dry, and I couldn't use them for more than a few days without my skin looking like a desert. Like I put it on, it'd be fine, and then after like 3 days, my skin would just be like white of just dry skin, and it was so bad. I kept seeing all these before and afters on the internet of people who had like perfect results like from using this for like a few months, and mine was just going dry. Like I literally, like no matter how small amount I used or how much moisturizer I like covered it up with, it was just continuously just so dry, and it was, oh my god, it was not nice. I tried to use that because it's like obviously a lot less invasive than like medications, which I will get to that, but that was just a step up from the tea tree oil and just a bit more intense, a bit more targeted, you know what I'm saying? Okay, age 15, I see this photo, it was getting definitely worse there. Like I don't know what was going on with like my forehead area. I'm so sorry guys, my smile is like goofy as hell in these like next couple ones. Anyway, so yeah, it started getting a bit worse. I saw a doctor because I was trying like all this skincare and it wasn't working, and she told me to see a dermatologist, and the dermatologist basically gave me a list of the order of options. So the first one was being the topical creams, but I'd already tried those, so we kind of just skipped over that. Then Doxycycline, then Spironolactone, and then would be Accutane. Now I think that both the topical creams, maybe one of, I think Acnatac was prescribed, but I think Benzac you can get like non-prescription. And then I think we might have gone up a dosage, I can't remember. So I went with Doxycycline because that was like the next step. And oh my god, this was an absolute godsend. Like look at these photos. Oh my goodness, like it was so good. Like why? Like just, it's so clear. It's so, I didn't even appreciate it that much back then, but now I'm looking back and I'm like, girl. So my skin was really good from Doxycycline. However, at the same amount of time, I did also start going through an eating disorder, which I don't want to elaborate on too much in this video, but basically it caused me to lose my period for about 9 months. And this basically meant that any hormonal acne that I might have been getting kind of just disappeared because I just like didn't have hormones. Well, I did have hormones, but they like weren't like regular, like normal female ones. The thing is that the doxycycline was working pretty much until my recovery, and then it started to become ineffective. So whether or not my skin was clear because of the doxycycline or the ED is a bit like uncertain. However, the doxycycline was working for quite a while before, so it may have been due to antibiotic resistance, which I sort of figured would eventually happen anyway, because doxycycline is an antibiotic, so you can like you get resistant to it. I think I did end up upping the dose of that as well though, but that was a bit later. So anyways, I knew that I couldn't be on it forever because it was also just like not great for your body to be on antibiotics for a really long time. So I stopped using it after I started to get acne again, because I was like, there's no point, I have acne, I'm on doxycycline, it's clearly not doing anything. Anyways, so then after I went off doxycycline, it obviously got a lot worse. But this photo here, like the one photo I have of me, like at that time, it's so hard to see it because I would only ever really take photos of my skin when it looked okay. I would never take photos of my skin if I thought it looked bad. I was just kind of like, today is not a photo day, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, so age 16, when I look back on these photos, I'm like, okay, this was probably getting close to the worst of it. Especially you can see around like the chin jaw area it was not good. Like it was like relentless. Like I would like get rid of one and like 10 more will pop up, and then like I'll get rid of those, and it was just like exponential. It was actually like not good. But because it's like around the chin area, that kind of like, I'm not a dermatologist, but it basically means that it's like hormonal related acne. So whether or not that was because of losing my period and it coming back and my hormones being weird, I don't really know. But I just learned from Google that like when it's like the chin jaw area, it's hormonal related. Whereas I think, please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, I think it's like if it's like your forehead, then it's like sugar. If it's your cheeks, it's like livery stomach stuff, and then like here's hormonal. But that might be completely wrong. Please check with Google and a dermatologist. I think somewhere in the middle of that year, I did start taking doxycycline again because it was just so bad, and I was doing like my skincare really well and it just was not doing it. I also added spironolactone because the doxycycline, like Loki, just wasn't doing its job anymore. I think the antibiotic resistance was still applicable when I restarted taking it, so adding spironolactone, it definitely helped with that. Now, my family and I really wanted to avoid going on Accutane as much as possible, even though we knew that that was an option and we knew that it most likely would work, but we really wanted to avoid it just because there's a lot of side effects that can happen with Accutane, and thankfully I never ended up going on it, so spoiler alert. So once I got back on those two medications, I was on doxycycline and spironolactone, my skin was pretty good. You can see these photos. It was pretty chill. I actually flew to France for a student exchange program at the end of that year, and I was there for 2 months. And even though my diet was like so unhealthy, thanks to the medications, my skin somehow remained pretty chill. Age 17, okay. I think this is because I was on the medications. So my skin was actually like really good this year because I was on doxycycline and spironolactone. And I think at this point I had increased the doses for doxycycline. That also might be why, but like looking back at these photos, like my skin was like really good. Yeah, that's kind of strange. But I also started wearing makeup for the first time, so my skin looks like a little bit extra nice. Oh, I have 2 years of age 17. Sorry, that was age 16. Yeah, okay, my bad. Okay, moving on to age 17. Everything was going all well and good for that year. And actually I just remembered how relieving that was, that like I could just splash water on my face and like there would be like no acne. It was crazy. Like I didn't even have to do like anything elaborate with my skincare. It was so good. Oh my goodness. Okay, anyways, I turned 17, and at this stage I think both of the medications had stopped working. Like the doxycycline was fully antibiotic resistant, like gone, and then the spironolactone, I don't know, I don't think that one can get resistant, but maybe it did, I don't know. Anyways, and yeah, so at this point I just felt like so hopeless because I felt like I tried everything and it was still coming back. And it was so annoying because I had this system, like taking the medications, that just made all the acne go away for like a whole year. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is the answer. And then it came back and I didn't even change anything. Like nothing changed in my diet, nothing changed in my lifestyle. It just came back and I was so confused and it was so frustrating. Anyways, at this point, and I think a few years earlier, my parents had encouraged me to try cutting out certain foods like peanut butter, sugar, dairy, all the ones that kind of like can make acne happen, but none of that made any difference. The only thing that I've ever noticed to cause acne for me is whey protein, like cow-based protein. I don't really know. That's the only thing that I know when I eat that, like my acne gets a lot worse. And that was sort of like my last main bout of acne that I had, was because I was eating whey protein like 3 times a day. Anyways, at the start of the year, it was okay. I was kind of just getting like a few here and there. They were just like around the chin area, but I could keep on top of them. Like it was just kind of like I delete it and it would be fine. In these photos, it looks quite normal and clear, but then, oh my goodness, this frustrated the absolute. Okay, so I started to get like the worst congestion ever. Like my entire chin was just these tiny little bumps that were like impossible to get rid of. Like every square millimeter of like all of that was just bumps. Like I could not place it. Like, I don't know, like I changed literally nothing, but I just, like, you can see in this photo, this is like a really gross photo, I'm so sorry, but it was so confusing because like from a distance, it looked like everything was chill, but I could just feel like 24/7 this congestion in my chin. And I was like, just get it out. Like I just could not do anything. Like I would like occasionally like try and get one out, but it just was like hopeless. It was actually so frustrating, and it did not make any sense because I was eating healthy, I was doing my skincare and literally everything. At some point I stopped taking like any medication completely because it was just not doing anything. Like I was just getting all this congestion. And I think my mom even suggested like, Aria, maybe it's because of the medication. So yeah, so I went off of that. And then, oh my God, I started, okay, the thing with this that you'll find is that like every time I cured one type of acne, a different type would come. It's like, first of all, it was just like teenage acne. Then it was like hormonal chin acne. And then it was this bloody congestion. And then what happened is once I stopped taking the medication, I started to get these absolutely relentless blind pimples and like these really like big, I don't know what type they are. Like I know there's classifications of pimples, but anyways. So for about 2 months, I had this one line on the left side of my face, like here, that were just blind pimples, and they just refused to leave. Like no matter how much I tried to pick them off, they just stayed there. Like some of them were so deep under the skin that I literally I couldn't even attempt to like, I know you're not meant to like pop them, but like, anyways, it was so frustrating because I couldn't even like reach them to try and get rid of them. And basically that continued to spread up my cheeks and just kind of like, it would take over like my entire chin and cheeks. It was just all these blind pimples. These photos here were like probably the most hopeless I felt. Like I look very not happy in these photos for obvious reasons because it was just so confusing and I was so angry. Like I just could not understand why it wasn't working. And I was just so frustrated that like a year beforehand, my skin was literally flawless, like you saw in those photos. And I didn't even have to do anything to maintain it. And now I was trying everything I could to try and get on top of it, and it was just being so bloody frustrating. And see, that was not fun. Something was even more frustrating is that sometimes like the entire right hand side of my face would be like completely perfect, and like if I put on makeup, like I could cover it up, but on the left side of my face it was just absolute disaster. Even today, like I've gotten in a habit of only taking photos from my right hand side because my acne was so much worse on my left hand side. And even now, like I still have like so much scarring from, you can't really see it here, but I have a lot of scarring from then. So even then I still try and take photos just on the right hand side. Yeah, anyways, ignore that. This might sound completely like unrelated to this whole topic, but I was in biology class and I was just like doing something in this group project and I just felt like I could not breathe. Like I felt like no matter how deeply I breathed in air, like it just wasn't enough, and it was really confusing. Then eventually like my hands started to go numb and my legs went numb, not my legs, my toes. I think they eventually called the ambulance, and then my blood oxygen saturation was like really low. It was like 80 something, or like I can't remember what it was, but anyways, it was not good. But they took me to hospital and they tried like every test. Like they did like blood test and like all these ones, and they could not find anything wrong. Like literally there was not a single thing that could have been wrong. So I left the hospital, I went home, I was fine. I still to this day don't even know why, but I went back to the doctor and we were like, okay, what other tests can we do, because this is really confusing. She just sent me to these other tests, and then somewhere in one of the tests, or like maybe, I don't even know if it was a test, but at some point, and this was not even related to the breathing thing, but eventually the doctor suggested that I may have PCOS, and I was like, what the hell that? Wait, that might make sense, because I was thinking about like all the hormonal acne here. And also this literally had nothing to do with the breathing thing. Like I still don't even know why I couldn't breathe that day. Thankfully it hasn't happened since, so I think I'm all good. But it did lead to figuring out that I potentially might have PCOS. I did a bunch of tests for that, but the thing is, like with PCOS, they can scan it and they can see the cysts on your ovaries, and you can not have PCOS, or they can not see the cysts and you still have PCOS. So it's really confusing and like really a grey area. And this is kind of part of the reasons why I want to go into women's health, because it was so confusing to me to have to do all these tests and not have any answers, and still not even know what's up with my body. So the moral of that story is that I potentially probably most likely had PCOS. I've been trying to remind myself that things would eventually get better. Like everything in my life that's sort of happened that's been really bad, like eventually it's gotten better. But with this, it had been like 5 years at this point, and I was like, it was just so frustrating. And especially like kind of finding out that I most likely have PCOS, because PCOS, you can't cure it. It's more like you manage it with like certain medications and stuff. I just remembered, I think I was on like a couple different like contraceptive pills to help with like hormonal regulation and all that. None of them really benefited me. I just kind of cried a lot because hormonal stuff. I kind of got like quite hopeless because PCOS isn't curable, and most adult women with PCOS like struggle with acne well into like their middle ages. So it was very frustrating, but it was even more confusing because I went to Italy like with my family, and I ate so much sugar and cheese and everything, and my skin was flawless. Like I was literally, like I was not exercising. I was having wine every single night, and like my skin was perfect. And I was like, I don't get it. Like, this should not make sense. Like, my skincare wasn't even good or anything like that. And then I'd get back home and I would exercise well, I would eat well, I would, I don't know, meditate and do good skincare, and my skin would just break out. And it was so confusing. That brings us to age 18, which is this year. Early this year, I thought that perhaps the congestion that I was having, like around here, was due to having a skincare routine that was too long. Actually, this is a good time for me to show you my skincare routine. Oh my god, I just remembered. Hold up. Okay, I'm gonna like be out of the room while I talk to you. Basically, I saw this psychologist. We were talking about, I can't remember what we were talking about, but she told me, I was telling her about my skin and how I was so frustrated about it because it was genuinely like having an impact on my mental health. Like, you can see when I was 17 in all those photos, like I was not looking happy. And she was like, oh my god, I know exactly what you should do. I mean, honestly, anyone that you talk to about acne, they always know like exactly what you should do, like the thing that works for them. And like, no hate to her, like she was the best psychologist ever. Like, if she's watching this video, like, girl, you're amazing. Anyways, where is it? She basically wrote me this list. I'm trying to find it in my box of important files, not files, what do you call it? Important pieces of paper. Okay, I can't find it, but I'm gonna see if I have a photo of it on my laptop, because I take photos of pretty much everything before I throw them out. I don't really hoard things, I just hoard photos of things, and so then when I need them, I have them digitally. I found it. Oh my god, I found it. Basically, she wrote out this, also you can see that's all the photos that I had like collected for this. Anyways, that is this list that she wrote for me. She literally guided me through like the exact skincare routine she told me to do, because I was telling her about all of my problems and everything, and she said that she'd had the exact same thing. I pretty much took that like gospel and I bought like everything that she suggested, and honestly like most of it was pretty good. Like, I still use like half of those things, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to show you guys what I used to use and what I currently use. It's kind of still the same thing, but I just use like half of what I used to use. So anyways, in the morning, at the moment, I use this first. This is what the psychologist recommended to me. I used to just use this in the morning, but now I also use this. I don't know if you can actually buy this online. I think it's like an in-store thing. This is the Advanced Decongesting Glycolic and Lactic Cleanser 13%. I was actually, like previously, I was using this glycolic acid at 7% exfoliating toner from The Ordinary. That was pretty good. I think that did help with the congestion, because I think the main thing that I kind of struggled with was congestion more than like big acne at that point. So I was using that like yonks ago. Morning was that, then that. But this one I only started doing recently. This one's actually been really good, like would recommend. This is probably like the best one that's helped me with decongesting. So that and that. And then I was using toner afterwards. Now at the moment I'm not. One, because I'm trying to minimize how many products I use, but I was using this. But then now when I put this on my skin after using that, it like foams up weird. So I don't really use that at the moment. But it's really good. This is actually quite nice. Anua, I love the brand Anua. If they ever want to sponsor me, if you're watching this, so please do. I would gladly. Anyways, in the morning I would do the Anua again. The Anua Niacinamide 10% and TXA 4% serum. This is really good for like clearing acne scars, which I still need to do. So I would use that, and then both morning and night I would use the Torriden Dive In Soothing Cream. I like have like nothing left. So you can see that I quite like that one. This is my second one that I bought of it. And then in the evening, I would do this. Okay, this is so good. Okay, this. Oh, that sprayed on the carpet. Oops. This is the Anua, again, Heartleaf Pore Control Cleansing Oil. I saw so many videos of like people using that, and they would like rub it like on their face, and like that you could see like the stuff coming out. And like sometimes that happens for me, but usually like it's like once every blue moon. Anyways, and then I would use this one, the Anua Heartleaf Quercetinol Pore Deep Cleansing Foam. I use that after that. That's a very good combination. Then for toner for the evening, I would use the Glycolic one I told you about. Again, I'm not using it at the moment. And then in the evening, I would use the Ordinary Salicylic Acid, that one, because that was also quite good for congestion and just like acne in general. The same moisturizer. So that's generally what I would be doing back when I had like a lot of congestion. However, because I was like, hang on, maybe the congestion is because I'm using too much, because this is like quite a lot of products, right? So I stopped using the toners and I stopped using the serums because I just wanted to minimize what I was using. So now I'm like double cleansing in the morning and then double cleansing at night and using just this one moisturizer every time. So yeah, and then as for makeup, just since while I'm here, I might as well like show you about it. This is like the first time I've ever shown someone my skincare routine. Actually, that's a lie. In year 12, I had this girl that I don't really know her, but she asked me, this is back when my skin was looking really good, like at the start of year 12. And yeah, for some reason, yeah, she was like, girl, do you have a skincare routine? And I was like, oh my god, yes, allow me to explain. And I like went into like all the detail. And then she was like, oh no, yes, so you use this skincare routine, right? And I was like, yes. She was like, okay, just wanted to know. And I was like, oh. So I explained to her like my whole routine, and she was just like, okay. So for makeup, I really don't wear that much makeup. Like right now, this is the maximum makeup that I usually wear. Like if I'm maybe going out for something, then I'll wear a bit more. But I use this sunscreen. Guys, always wear SPF. This is actually only SPF 30. So if it's like the middle of the Australian summer, then I'll wear a bit more SPF. But I use that and I like mix it with this. This also my psychologist recommended to me. It was quite good. Oh, she also recommended to me this moisturizer, the CeraVe, like this thick ass tub one. So I mix those two together to kind of make like a foundation. And it just like blends in really well. Like it's not, doesn't look powdery, it doesn't look weird. And then I have this, which I'm like almost out of. I need to get more of. This is the Mecha Max Off Duty Glass Stick. This is just really good for highlighting. Like you can see there, the nice little shimmer. That's because of that. But I need to get some more of that. And then I have the Rare Beauty blush. I don't know what shade this is. Oh, it's Hope. It's the Hope shade. That's quite nice. So yeah, that's my makeup. I also have mascara. And I like brush my eyebrows, but that's it. That's literally it. And lip gloss. I'm wearing lip gloss right now, but in my mind, that doesn't really count as makeup. Anyways, so I do keep my makeup very simple. I don't know if you can see me. Let's just move back a bit so you can... I started cutting out all the products that I showed you, so I was keeping it very simple, double cleansing morning and night, and just using a very light moisturizer. Now, at this point, I also started having microdermabrasion, which is like definitely not the cheapest kind of facial treatment you can get, but it definitely helped. But it wasn't like a cure. Like it definitely, whatever the problem was, it wasn't fixing the problem. It was just kind of like helping get rid of some of the congestion, you know what I'm saying? Oh, if you're not on the right angle, that's a better angle. Okay, cool. Anyways, continue. When I said I cut out all the products, I was literally just doing this cleanser and the moisturizer that I'm always out of. Like that was literally it. Like I wasn't doing anything else other than makeup, but yeah, it doesn't count. A few months after I cut out like pretty much everything, I started double cleansing. So doing the 2 in the morning and the 2 in the night and the same moisturizer. And that further helped with the congestion, especially the decongesting, this one. That, like, I think this has honestly helped the most with the congestion. So yeah, thankfully, I can now say that my skin is significantly better. Like, it is, for the most part, smooth and glowy and, like, a lot less congested. And the only issue that I have now, oh my god, this is actually, like, kind of embarrassing, but I, like, just pick my skin. Like, there's nothing even there. I'm just so in the habit of, like, trying to, like, get rid of my acne that even though there's, like, none there now, I still am in the habit of picking at it. So now I just have these red bits like there just from me like picking my skin, and it's not fun. But I'm continuing to get microdermabrasion every now and then. Like I think I've got an appointment next week, which I go to just help, because I still have like a tiny bit of congestion, and like occasionally if I'm like about to get my period, I'll get like a pimple, but like it is so much better than it used to be. And I'm not on any medication at the moment, by the way. I'm not on any medication, no prescribed anything. And so a part of me is like, I don't know if this is going to last. I don't know if my skin's going to randomly break out in a year. Who knows? So honestly, if any of you guys were clicking on this video, hoping for like a really clear answer, like, oh yes, I use this product and my skin is perfect. I'm sorry that you don't have that answer, because the truth is I don't actually even know. Like I'm eating healthy now, I'm exercising, but I was also doing all that a year ago and my skin was terrible. And my skincare is more or less not that different. I honestly wish I could give you a clear answer. And this is what I had to say to everyone in the comments when I made that video, is like, I genuinely don't know. I genuinely don't know why my skin is good right now. But that is my whole story. That being said, I'm still recovering from scarring and things like that. And yes, like I still get occasional acne. So I guess the point of making this video was just to show you like how complex of a journey getting rid of acne is, and just to kind of give you a bit of hope if you're going through this, because for me, I had acne for about 6 years. So from when I was like 12 to when I'm 18, and I might still get it back again. I don't know. But this is just sort of like, in a way, just reassure you that things will get better. And no matter how hard it seems, and feels like no matter how much you've tried and how much you've tried to get rid of it, I promise you eventually something is going to work. It might not be the same thing that works for someone else, because a lot of us have very different cures to acne. Some people get acne just from like eating sugar, whereas for me, I know that it doesn't really matter how much sugar I eat. I'm still gonna get acne or not get acne. And then for some people, if their pillowcase is dirty, they'll get acne, whereas for me, I mean, I clean my pillowcase every week. I'm not like that, I'm not gross. The point being is that something that worked for me most likely won't work for you, and something that worked for me back then is not going to work for me now. Like taking Doxycycline now would not do anything because antibiotic resistance. But for you, that might really work. It might be the thing that you need for it to cure. And all the products I mentioned, you know, like for me, they work really well, but perhaps if you tried them, your skin would break out. And so many products that I've seen recommended to me by other people I've tried, and it's really not worked. The main thing I'm trying to say here is that there's no one size fits all approach. And I'm just rambling here. I'm so sorry. You know what I'm trying to say. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment anything. Comment if you liked this video, comment if you didn't like this video, comment what you want to see more of. A lot of people ask my haircare routine because I grew up from like yay length to yay length. So let me know if that's something that you guys would be interested in, and subscribe if you feel like it, or follow me on Instagram at @byariaemily. I'll put it just here. Hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for joining me on this little, oh my god, my battery's almost flat on my, okay, I actually need to hang up now. Hang up. Okay, this feels like a FaceTime call, that's why I said that. Anyways, have a good day, guys.